Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar.com, and if you're interested in learning how to play walking bass, I'm going to show you a really cool walking bass hack that's going to give you an amazing bass line which players use day in, day out, even if you don't know any music theory. I'm going to see you on the other side, and please watch this lesson all the way to the end. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar.com, and one of the questions I get so often is how do I go about starting to play walking bass? I feel completely stuck. I just feel like I'm bombarded with musical theory, and I just feel kind of like I've almost got musical paralysis. And today I want to show you a really simple place that you can start using a concept called the 3-note transition. And what's really cool about this is you don't really even need to have a huge knowledge of music theory to make this one work and get a really cool sounding real world bass line coming out of your instrument. But before I start teaching it to you, let's play a little bit and so you can hear exactly what this sounds like. So guys, what exactly is the 3-note chromatic transition? This is a concept that I call a bassline creator. Bassline creators are little systems and frameworks that we can use to create really cool, useful real-world bass lines. And this is an idea actually which started off in its infancy in the Rock, Pop and Motown Bassline Creation course, which is one of the full-on 6-week mega courses which is inside the Bass Lab Plus, which is my private members tutoring area where you can get hold of me and get loads and loads of step-by-step courses if you're really serious about pushing your bass playing forward. Now, this I'm now going to apply to walking bass now, because this concept transitions brilliantly. And this idea is all about using a tone, or I'm talking in British language here, a whole step and 2 half steps to transition from one note to the next. So this 3-note transition is constructed in 2 ways. First of all, I'm going to give you the most common construction of it so you can see what that sounds like. So this starts off with a whole step, okay, and remember a whole step is 2 frets, and then we go to 2 half steps. So whole step, half step, like so. And I'm going to demonstrate this going from a C chord to an F up the top here, like so. So we're going to go C, and then a whole step away is going to be a D, and then we're going to have 2 half steps, which will take us to an E flat, an E natural, and an F. Now, where this works particularly brilliantly, this bass line, is over the circle of fifths. So what I've done here is I've taken the first 8 bars of a tune called Autumn Leaves. You can check that out in any of the real books if you want. It's used loads and loads in education because it's brilliant. And what this is the circle of fifths. I've got a whole lesson on exactly what the circle of fifths is on the eBassGuitar blog, so do go back and check that out. We're also linked to that in the blog description below so you can find that. Now, the brilliant reason why this works so well is you need very little knowledge of music theory, and I'm going to explain why now. So when we go up here, we start off with our root, we go to the second, like so. Then on the 3rd beat, we get a minor third, so the E flat. So root, 2nd, minor third, then major third, and then we've hit our next chord here, which is an F. Now, this particular sequence going C minor to F, basically we're going up a 4th, is so common. So if you play blues, you'll easily be able to use this walking bass line in other contexts. So say, like that, to transition from note to note. So this isn't completely applicable. So this isn't totally applicable to jazz. You can use this all over, whether you're playing rock, funk, soul, disco music. In fact, this whole concept started life in the rock, pop and Motown course and wasn't even anything to do with jazz, but you get the idea. This is a really seminal concept. Now, the reason why this works is because you are using both a major and a minor third here. And what that does is it kind of cancels each other out. It doesn't matter whether the chord is major or whether the chord is minor. It just has this cancellation effect, which is great. So if you learn this pattern, you can just look at the root notes and be aiming for the next root note all the time. So before I actually write this line out for you, I want to play it to you in context so that you can hear what you are aiming for, and then we'll take it apart so that you can see it deconstructed. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart note by note now so you can see exactly how this whole step, half step pattern works in practice. Don't forget, this comes with a completely free PDF which will also have this all written out and a bunch more information to kind of extrapolate on what we're talking about in this video now. So we're going to start on a C here, like so, at the 3rd fret on the A string. And then we're going to hit an open D, E, E flat like that. So a tone there to the D, and then E flat, and then E natural, like so. So yeah, put the flat sign in like that. So let's play that to you. Then we're going to do exactly the same pattern again. So then we're going to go F, and the tone away is G, like so. F, G, then we're going to hit an A flat here, which is a half step, then an A natural. And that leads us perfectly to the B flat. Like so. So we're going to hit the B flat right up there. And then we're going to continue, just for this one, up the G string. So G, and then to C, and then D flat and to D like so. And we're going to go into what we call the ledger lines here. So let's C. And then we're going to go D flat. Like so. There we go, my dodgy handwriting. So like that. So let me play you those first 3 bars so you can hear what they sound like in context. Now, we could continue the pattern on up the G string. That will work equally well. But what I'm going to do, just so we don't get too high on the neck, not that you can really go too high, but I just don't want to, I want to keep us all down in the sort of meat and potatoes kind of positions down here, is we're going to drop, then down to the E flat there, E, and then we're going to take the same pattern, so E, F, we're going to go G flat, G like that, and that is our first 4 bars. And that is a really perfectly credible walking bass line, which you will hear Christian McBride or whoever, Ray Brown, Ron Carter, they will use excerpts of this concept all the time to create a bass line. So then the circle of fifths gets broken. Don't forget to check that other lesson out to see exactly how this circle of fifths work. And we're going to drop down to an open A here. Like so. Now, as I said, there are 2 versions of this. I'm not going to get too deep into the musical theory here, but you can actually do this the other way around. There is another pattern that you can do, which is half step. So half step whole step, half step. So let me talk you through that one. So we go from A to B flat there, and then we're going to go to a whole step there, which gives us a C, and then a C sharp like that to get the other half step, which is going to land us on the D like so. Now, I'm not going to dig too deep into the musical theory, but it's all to do with this A minor 7 flat 5 chord, which I'm not going to go into now. But the crucial thing to recognize is that this still works perfectly well because we still have the minor third rather, and the major third in there. It's changed the sort of the second note of the pattern, which works brilliantly with that harmony there, but that is all to do with minor harmony, which is another animal. But use your ears and you'll soon hear the difference. So let me talk this one out. So we've got that, the B flat there, and then we have a C, and we're going to have a C sharp there, and then we're going to hit the D like that. Then we can go back to our initial pattern here and do whole step and then 2 half steps, D, and then F natural and F sharp. Don't forget, if you don't know the term chromatic, all that means is single steps on the neck like this. So 1 fret or half steps like that. So that's why it's called 3-note chromatic transition, because it's got 3 notes to go from. We're using 3 notes to move from note to note. And then we hit the G there. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to go up this version again, like so. G, and then, which I've written that in the wrong place, forgive me. G, A, B natural, B flat, and then B natural, like so. Then we've got a bit of a conundrum here because we have 2 bars going on here. If you listen back to the original of Autumn Leaves, it's 2 bars at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do exactly the same pattern down the octave like so. So we're going to go, so G, A, B flat, B natural. I'm going to do it down the octave here. So G, A, B flat, B natural. And then that leads us perfectly back round to the C at the top. So let me write that in. So G, A, B flat, B natural. So let me play the whole of the line for the last 4 bars there. So. Then we can go all the way back round from the beginning. Now, with any music, music is an art form, and there kind of always rules to be broken in this situation. So when I give a system like this, there are always the occasional times when it doesn't quite fit it. And for instance, here, I really don't like the sound of that ending on the major third. It slightly clashes for mine. So in reality, I would actually change that note probably there, but I'm going to leave it in just so you can see this concept demonstrated from beginning to end. But just listen to that note and see if with your ears whether it works, whether it clashes, etc, etc. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to play you the whole of this from beginning to end so you can hear what this 3-note chromatic transition sounds like going through the circle of fifths from Autumn Leaves. So guys, you can hear how that is a really, really credible bass line through there. Again, just check out that note there, see if it sounds good to your ears. So I'm going to leave you with that and practice it. Don't forget to download the PDF which comes with this lesson. There also is a descending version of the 3-note chromatic transition too. So you can start to create bass lines which have peaks and valleys as well, which is really, really exciting. And the even better thing is we barely touched any music theory through this. I've explained to those of you who are into music theory why this works in this lesson, but the reality is you could take this concept and apply it on the neck through these chords and have a really great bass line at the end of it. So don't forget to download the PDF. The backing track that you heard me working here is available in my membership, Bass Lab Plus, so you can grab that along with a host of other great goodies, loads and loads of step-by-step courses, and of course, get my feedback on how you're doing and help and support through mentoring and coaching. So guys, that was the 3-note chromatic transition. I'd love to know what you thought of that lesson. Was it useful? Is it helping push your bass playing forward? Please do leave a comment below in the comment section. If you've liked this lesson, don't forget to give it a like and share on social, and also don't forget to grab the free PDF which comes with this lesson by visiting the eBassGuitar blog or clicking the link below in this post. Anyway, I've been James from eBassGuitar, and I will catch you next time.